Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Episodic Podcast. The only SOSO. It's all right. How are you?
Good.
Is that
You
a good
live with me.
That's true. Welcome,
make it
everybody.
sound like we're doing this as like a monthly meetup. Like, hey, I haven't seen you in a month. How are you doing?
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
I mean, that's kind of what we do here. So, how was the month of May?
Yeah, how was it?
Yeah, for me, kind of like flew by. Honestly, I was like, oh, we have to. I was like thinking we need to record the podcast because we do it at the end of the month, and then before I knew it, it was already time.
It's already June.
It was way over past. Yeah, we're already late on this, but it's been crazy. It's it feels like yesterday that we were just like, okay, things are gonna change. Your life schedule is starting to change, but it's already been like 5 months.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
It's already like half a year.
How about you? How are you feeling about all of this? My life didn't really change. Yours is changing big time.
Well, I mean, I've already mentioned it plenty of times.
But
that,
yeah.
I mean, we switch spots. I'm the one that's working and I come in sometimes kind of thing. So I think the dynamic for stream is different. You're now the face of Blluist to when I used to be. So I'm trying to, I guess, I'm still trying to figure out a good balance of stream and work.
How's that been?
I mean,
are you able to balance it?
I don't know. I mean, I think I am, but
because you're still on stream pretty frequently. It's not like you're like completely gone.
Yeah.
You're not like completely out of the system or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, of course, there's times where I'm really busy. Like, was it like a couple weeks ago when I had all those photo shoots in 1 week?
Mm-hmm.
I know I couldn't make it to like the Wednesday stream. I couldn't make it to, a bunch of other ones. That's like, there's gonna be weeks where I just can't. Like, they need me full time. So there may be weeks where I just can't make it the whole week.
Yeah.
But that's something, that we're just gonna have to deal with since, the more full time I get into, the more I might need to step back and focus on work. So
makes sense. And then for me, it's like I just gotta keep doing what I do. Like just it's still been weird. Like I remember last time we were like, everything has just kind of started its own new thing, and I was talking about how I feel about that. But it's already been 5 months, 4 months, and a lot of it hasn't really changed. It's still kind of in the it's like we're kind of starting to do our own thing, as in like me and Josh. We just announced yesterday, so we're recording this podcast on June 2nd, but on June 1st, we announced that we're gonna do our first Tokyo Camp Bingo event. Which is like our first like actual event. The first stage was just kind of doing, and we will keep doing this, but to just have each of our communities to be aware of this new person, because it's not like we've done stuff with Josh before. Josh has never done. People in Josh's community probably didn't know who I was, who Blluist was, and vice versa. But now I think we know each other, so I thought it was a good time to kind of throw in our first of many kind of events, and it took a bit, but hopefully this will be something that people are excited about. We're excited about it, and that's all that matters, really, because I feel like if we really spend time, sometimes a good idea will come out, and the next day you're just like, it's actually not that good. But this one is, well, first of all, it's based on an idea that I already enjoyed from a different group of people, and it's like the Tokyo version of that. So if I enjoyed it, then that's like, I like it. Hopefully people will like it too. Put our time into kind of like making it look nice, thinking of good prompts, and it'll keep evolving from here. And it's something that we can do, semi-constantly. So
Yeah, it would be like a consistent thing that you guys can keep doing.
yeah. It's one of the things about collabs is that we've experienced it before, and it's something that I really, really wanted to kind of make sure with Josh was that like there's a lot of like times, and we haven't done too many, but we've done collabs in the past, working with other people, but it's always like it always gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Like the idea starts to get like, let's get these people, let's do this one time thing, and then your energy is kind of rolling and rolling and rolling until the day actually comes, and then it's over. And the level of burnout that you get from something like that, not like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore, but you feel burnout in the sense that you kind of hit that goal line because you've worked on something for a while and it's something that you guys talked about, and then boom, it's over. And then after that, you go back to your normal life. Because everything up to that, building up to that, even if you don't talk about it on stream, you're always thinking about it. You're thinking about the event, whether it be like for us, like Werewolf, or like events that we've done with other people. It's like a lead up to that. And then once it happens, what do we do now? We go back to our normal lives, kind of thing. And there's a level of burnout that you feel, or like you hit the goal tape for that, you know. And for us, we knew that that was going to happen with Werewolf when we did Werewolf. So our game plan at the time was, I don't know if I've already talked about it on stream before, but because I've been trying to stay away from talking about the collabs until we actually announced this one, but was when we booked everybody for one episode, I would start booking the next one. So by the time one of them is over, we're already working on the second one. So we don't have time to be like, oh, that was cool. Like we have that moment for a second, but we're on to the next one. And if you can keep that going, that's how you can keep the ball rolling. But we just didn't know enough people at one point.
Yeah, we ran out of people to ask.
Because it's like, what, 7 people?
Mm-hmm.
7 people every time if we want to do it monthly. And it's just, we didn't have that type of connection with people, and level of like, we were trying to bring it to a place where people like would reach out and want to join in, and to make an event that's good where people want to play. But it's hard for people to reach out. And I think it was hard for us to kind of like find new people every time. So that didn't really work. And it's also really hard to schedule 7 like
people for one day. Yeah.
Everyone has their own
that's the hardest
lives.
part, is scheduling.
Are we back?
We're good.
We had to cut there because Anu peed all over Anu. Sorry, Anu peed all over Anu, and then
he
walked
got
over.
it on me. So sorry,
okay?
I had to clean up a little bit. Yeah.
So, anyways, so that's kind of what the whole
life of a dog mom. Let's go.
She's wiping the pee off right now. That's some exclusive content.
Yeah, I'm gonna
right there.
wash this. I'm gonna wash this after.
But so that's what it's like about with collabs, right? And so I wanted to do something that we could do frequently, kind of constantly, and we're gonna try and evolve it. This isn't the final form of the thing. We're actually still working on something to make it even more interactive and more. But that's kind of for the future, near future, not like a year from now. But so when Tokyo Camp Bingo, when I was like, maybe we should just try that, you know, like it's such a good idea. I already enjoyed Sloppy Joe's Bingo, and we always watch cameras all the time. Why didn't I think of just doing that, like doing our own version of it? And then once I gave the idea, like, this is what I'm thinking, it's based off this. Josh loved it. Blue was like, that's really cool too. I think you guys should do that. And everybody was just on board. And I'm really, really excited. And I thought it was a different type. I don't know yet because we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, we'll see.
People might hate it, but
yeah,
like,
it might be just so bad.
Yeah, I might just be in my head right now, but it doesn't really matter because I'll have fun, and I think Josh will have fun, and that's the energy that really matters. Is that we really are stoked about this, and we want to keep doing it, and something that we can keep doing. You won't get burned out because Friday always comes.
Yeah.
And Friday
And people,
will always
there's going to
come.
be different people walking around every single time.
Yeah. The weekend
So.
in Tokyo always comes, and it's always wild. Especially now with so many people coming into Japan, it's going to be a wild time.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do like Halloween version. We just got to make different prompts and different bingo cards, and it's just there's so many ways that we could take this that it just in my head I was like, this can't be a bad idea. Like, this can't. Like, even if it's a bad idea, it's worth doing. And it's also such an easy way to get other content creators, if they are interested, to join. Because it's all you need is a bingo card, and all you need is, and we have all the generators and stuff.
And we have the bingo card, so all they need is a monitor and a mic.
And an internet connection that can connect to YouTube. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And
They just need YouTube.
And it's just so easy, and so many ways that we can take this. And I don't know, it's just really exciting. And it's like, I think it's about time that we actually do something here. Like, this kind of goes back to, I think it was it was last podcast where I was like, we haven't been able to show that we want to grow as a channel to our community, not to the people like that don't know us and like stuff like that, but to the community that already love us and support us. I think it's really important that we show that we want to grow. And collabing with Josh on like almost a weekly basis was like step one to just get Josh to start doing things with other content creators. But this is what I was really talking about. To do things like this and to kind of like be able to grow. Like this one, playing games with Josh is one way of like showing, hey, like I'm trying to reach out. But to actually put our time into an event and thinking of the longevity of an event, not a one-time thing, that's where I think it'll really start to show how much work that we're putting into this, how much at least we can show our community. And I think that's really important, because the people that are going to let us grow the most, the people that are going to help our growth, are the people that are already supporting right now, is my point of view. Without the people supporting us, there's no growth. There's nothing. So it's probably going to be scuffed somehow, because it's going to be me and, doing it. But
sorry, speaking of events,
way.
There's one thing that just popped in my mind.
What's up?
And remember that one time we did Ito with Joey and Aki?
Yeah. That was for the Blluist summer tour.
You had like one, or like you had a super low number, and you kept saying like, "Oh, it's a cat with 3 legs."
That's like one. That's cheating.
It's like, it's a bee that's missing an arm.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, actually, I was talking to somebody, and they told me that there's going to be an English version of Ito coming out.
I need to let Aki know. She loves that game.
Yeah. I bet Aki's the one making it. She loves that game. Yeah. But so for people that don't know, Ito is a game which I actually want to do with Josh. I think it'd be really fun.
I think it'd be fun, yeah.
Like board games with Josh, or like Turtle Soup with Josh. But
God, but 2 ENFPs doing Turtle Soup, that's gonna be chaotic.
So Ito's a game where there's like a category where it was like they'll give you like, what is it? It would be like
it's like a rating game. So it's like the topic would be like
animals you want to keep as a pet.
Yeah, or like no, it'd be like strongest animal, and then you have to rate it from 1 to 10, or sorry, 1 to 100, and then you'll get like, so you have to think like, okay, you pass out cards, and if you get 20, you have to think about, oh wait, what would the 20, like a strong animal that would be around 20 be?
So it's not strong, right? Like on a
it'd be weak, because 1 is 100. Like super weak, right? So then you have to think about what would be really weak. But and then on the other hand, if I have the number 20, Gray might have like 23. So he has to think about, wait, what's 23? So then when I say like, okay, well, 20 would be like, I don't know, like a sloth or something. Actually, no, they're probably really strong. But it's either way. Gray would have to be like, okay, wait, is my animal above hers or below hers? And then he might have to change his answer. So it's like you have to rate it without saying the number.
Yeah, and then,
so it's actually quite difficult.
And the why that even matters is because the game is everybody gets a number, and they have to. And the goal is a co-op game where you have to put down the lowest to the highest.
Mm-hmm.
Is like you have to be like, okay, you go first, and then that person has to have the lowest number. The next person has to have the number right after that.
So before you even start saying start the game, you have to have the conversation of like, wait, do you think you have the lowest? No, I think I have the lowest. Wait, why do you think you have the lowest? Kind of thing. So it's actually pretty. Yeah, it's a mind game, really.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to talk about what 50 is. Like you can't make like a standard of 50.
Yeah.
That's against the rules because it kind of makes it boring.
Yeah, so because of that, when Gray had like the number 6 or like 3 or something really, really low, instead of like saying, a standard animal, he's like, oh, mine's a bee missing a wing. It's like, what does that even mean? So he's like, what less? Okay, then what would you rate a bee? So is it less?
I can't say that. I can't say that.
Yeah. So it's like, why would you say a bee without a wing? Like, just name a different animal.
I couldn't. So then I just like took off body parts
every time. Because then a different question came up, and it was like, oh yeah, it's a 3-legged cat. It's like, what?
And Joey was like, why do you keep disabling animals? That's
good times.
Yeah. And I want to do that. Board games was something that we always wanted to do. We had a Patreon video. It's like a legendary cursed video where we tried to do a board game, and Anu just kept eating the pieces. So we
kept taking it away. So
yeah,
we couldn't.
I think it's on Patreon. It's an unlisted video of us playing a board game, and Anu's just head covering the whole entire screen, just picking up the piece and just walking away. So So we do have a couple of board games. We can do virtual board games too, but that's something that we want to do. Point being, things that we can like reoccur and do is I think a little bit more special than, for example, a normal collab stream of, Terraria.
Yeah.
The first step is like to get our communities to
Comfy
know each
with
other.
each other.
Yeah, and then
it's like a sleepover, you guys. It's the first day you guys are on a sleepover.
Yeah, for me too. Me too. And so I think now
you have to test out the waters.
I'm on stage 2 of okay. At least I know that the people in Blluist know Josh, and hopefully the people in Josh's community at least kind of know who I am now. Like at least they know that we're friends. And so
no,
I don't know about that.
You guys are friends.
Not yeah. At least our community does not think that. They're always like, yo, when I think this is the last time Josh is playing with you, Gray. I don't know. So at the end of the day, next step is to kind of take that, because we're a good team. So then I think we proved that. And so I think we can now do things together and kind of hopefully show you guys that this is what I wanted to do. It wasn't just to like hang out with Josh. I want to do something like bigger and bigger with Josh, and I think this is our second step of many steps that I have in my mind right now. So please come hang out. It's an off-stream schedule. This will be June 7th, 8 p.m. I'll be streaming JST. I'll be streaming on Blluist. He'll be streaming his side on Josh in Japan. So come hang out and support. It's gonna be fun. I'll make it fun. That's a big thing that I was able to finally announce that.
Yeah, you guys were working on it for a while, so.
And shouts out to to Milky, the artist. I was like, hey, do you think you can do this? 1 week, boom, and it's just like, yep, that's perfect. That's amazing. Like, just really on board with everything. I'm really realizing to get anything done, I'm just really using a lot of people's help, and people are just willing to be there and help me out. So, and including Josh being okay with all this stuff and him with his input.
Him being okay with all your crazy ideas.
Yeah, he's very supportive, but I don't know if it's just like.
No, I have a feeling he's just as crazy as you are.
I'm not that crazy. I'm pretty normal.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
No, but yeah, I think I don't know. I'm starting to feel. The reason why I'm mentioning all this is because I can now because I've been waiting to talk about Tokyo Camp Bingo, and B, it's been pretty tough for me mentally for the past couple months. That just I've just been I've not been in a good place. I think whereas when we first started doing this whole thing where we switched roles, it's just it's been
Rough.
it doesn't explain enough because that can mean a lot of things. It's like I know I'm going towards somewhere, but the numbers, and I know it's just numbers, but like
I mean, it's like it's how it's always been. How you don't with streaming, numbers fluctuate, and you don't really get rewarded for doing new things, and a lot of it depends on timing and also what part of the year it is. And there's so many different factors and so many different change, like, and of course, and the fact that viewership goes down when you change anything about stream, because it's all about consistency, right? Like if you change your schedule, it'll go down. If you change your name, it'll go down. We changed members basically and it goes down. Of course it's going to go down, but it is rough to see when nothing in your mind has changed. You're working just as hard. So it's like when the amount you work, like the amount of hard work you put into it doesn't correlate. Like there's no reward for how much time you're putting into it and how much you're working towards something. It's just, it doesn't match up. So you don't feel satisfaction for doing something. You don't feel any validation. You don't feel like it's this constant like daily struggle of like, wait, am I doing everything okay? Like, am I okay? As in like, is what we're doing the right thing? Like there's no right or wrong. And that's the rough thing. Cause it's like, is this the right direction to go in? Am I doing the right things to progress? Even though progression is like this really ambiguous thing and it can only be correlated with numbers. And so when your numbers go down, you think like, oh, okay, maybe this wasn't what I was supposed to do. But at the same time, people say like, oh no, you should try new things, make sure your stream's unique and everything. So it's like, okay, well, it contradicts each other. So it's like, what the fuck are you supposed to do? Like this streaming is like the one creative field that's so new that there's no base of, like, there's no rule book, so to speak. There's no guideline. And it's such a gray area that anything you can do might propel you forward, but also at the same time, it might just sink you down to the bottom. So it's like, what are you supposed to do?
There's moments like that, and it's
how I feel.
And it's never the people that's watching.
No.
I've never felt. I just want to say I've never felt that like. I've said I was like feeling rough, but I've never felt that it was like, oh, we're not getting enough support. In the sense that like the people aren't supporting us.
It's more like inner conflict.
Yeah.
If like, am I doing okay? Is this the right direction?
Yeah.
That I should be bringing the stream in?
So
or is like as Gray by himself, am I like, are my streams okay?
Yeah,
kind of thing.
It's not like, you're absolutely right. It's like, I feel like, are my and it's not, because I haven't changed, but it's like, am I not doing, are the streams just bad? You know, like that, it's just like that, right? Like, if, for example, I really simplified it, but in any type of business, like if you're working, then I can relate to my old job. If my results are bad at work, it means that I'm doing a bad job. Like very simply put, right? And because work doesn't fluctuate like that. You have your set clients, you have your set price, you have your set.
You know exactly what you're supposed to do. You know exactly what they want.
Right. And so when that doesn't work, you can be like, okay, well, A wasn't good this month. that, and I was responsible for A, to do this, and yeah, I kind of, was lazy about it, so I did bad, or the other way, I did
And
good.
you know exactly, like, okay, I need to fix this part, I need to improve on this part, and I need to figure out how to do this better. But with stream, there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
You don't know anything. Every month is just, what?
Yeah, and that's like up and down, and so for me, it was a tough time for, well, it's always kind of like that, but I feel like this month, no, sorry, the last couple months was just really, there was a big moment where I was like, I really like streaming, and I really like streaming, I really like hanging out, but there are moments where it felt like the whole entire world was telling me to not do it anymore and to fucking move on. And I was like, and it wasn't the community. It wasn't the community or anything like that. It was just the whole world around me. Things were changing. It wasn't like Blue was telling me that, or my friends were telling me that.
Stop.
Yeah.
Quit.
It wasn't like that, but it was just like, that moment that where you just like, everything in the world, like this, you feel like the signs are just telling you, like, this is your time, this is your timing, this is it. Some opportunities show up, some things
dip out,
and then like it's like you did good, you did everything you could, and it really just felt like I was hitting something that I was like, wow, I didn't want to admit that when I was like just 1 or 2 months into this, but now that I'm like almost half a year into it, maybe. And then I sleep on it, and then I go, no, fuck that, because I'm still passionate about it, and I would rather do this and try to strive for this than go back to a day job. And so, but that also comes with, but I need to grow, and I need to grasp at that. I'll never be able to take the elevator. I'll always take the stairs when it comes to things, but I've been going up the stairs. Blue and I have been going up the stairs this whole entire time. So I have to show that I'm going up the stairs. And that's what the whole, like, showing at least into our community that we want to grow. And that's where my mindset changed. But it doesn't mean the situation changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just your mindset changes, but that doesn't mean the situation changes.
It gives you more hope, but the situation is still
the same.
It's the same.
The day-to-day streams are pretty much the same, like it's not, but I've put a lot more weight into that now of trying to do things that are constant, that doesn't burn you out and excites you all the time, rather than something that's kind of like makes you feel like, why am I doing this? Like, what's the whole point of all of this? So, and things are there was like we're in a call with our friends that we like call every week, and they were like, yo, Gray, recently, like, are you like getting sunlight or something? Because for the last couple of weeks or a month, it seems like every single time we talked, it was like doomsday. And I was like, I didn't even notice that. But I think that there is a part of me that has changed when, it's not like with Tokyo Camp Bingo, we're not like the level of naivety where we think like this is gonna blow us up. Like, that shit is so dangerous to think of it like that, and I feel like that's not what this is about. It's just an exciting idea that I know is fun, and I think the community will enjoy, and we will enjoy. So that's what excites me. Not whatever happens afterwards doesn't interest me at this point right now, because when the more weight we put on that, when it doesn't blow up, which it won't on the first try, that's weird. That's they'll fuck you up. We've been there before.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do. I think just getting like the artwork back, just getting like kind of like finalizing what kind of prompts we want to have, getting the randomizers and like all like just like going in, trying out different layouts for the overlays, and then boom, we picked a date for when we're gonna do it. It was let's do it next week, Let's announce it on this day. I think when stuff like that kind of started like coming into place, it's just exciting. It's just an exciting thing for me. Um, and I think that's what kind of changed the mood of everything. That finally we can start doing things, and hopefully, it's really important to let people know that our growth is dependent on what we do, and also the support of the community too, and which we always had. So it would it would just mean a lot if you guys came, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. If not, you guys can let me know. But I think it's gonna be really fun, and that's what we always think. Number one, because if I can enjoy it, and you guys can see that I'm enjoying it, I think even if you don't like the game, I think that's what keeps people there.
Fun is contagious, right?
Yeah. So I'm really excited, and this is just step one or step two, I guess, of that I have in my mind. We do want to do like one hit events, one shot, like big ones, but yeah, this is Tokyo Cam Bingo is going to be really fun, and we're thinking of ways to evolve it, just that event itself, as we keep going. So hopefully,
I'm excited to see.
yeah. I mean, wait, are you? Do you think you can make it on the first day? Like, you don't have to like say yes or no, but like, hopefully you'll be there. Are you not gonna be there?
They scheduled a meeting.
She will not be there.
Actually, I mean, it depends on when it ends. If it ends before, then I can.
Yeah, just come jump in.
So kind of, I might have to jump in like midway.
Yeah, hell yeah. But
I'll jump in with food.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna be drinking. I'm gonna be just drinking and like.
I'll just eat while we play bingo.
It's an off-stream schedule. It's like a Friday night, so I'm just gonna be drinking, hanging out, playing bingo. So
yeah,
I think, and then it's just gonna be me like talking to Josh on VC and stuff like that. Hopefully, we can do it in person too one day.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first one's better to do it remote, but to kind of show how casual and easy this can be done without actually getting together. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. But at the same time, it has been pretty tough. I've had so many moments on stream where there would be like real talk moments, and I don't usually do that kind of stuff. But I was just like, why not? If people are asking questions, I'll just answer it. There's nothing to hide, so I'm just telling them my honest feelings. But there's a lot of things that I don't really say on stream, or like I don't think that streamers need to say that on stream, because those are things that people need to be very careful about when they word it. I think, because a lot of times the emotions override the actual intentions, if that makes sense. And so like you say shit in like really weird ways that come off weird, and it's a very, very sensitive subject, I think. But I just want to make it clear, I never thought like Twitch never gave us a chance. I don't think that. I don't think that. I don't think the community was like, I wish the community would support us more. No, this is all on me. This is all
it's internal conflict.
It's all Blluist things. What we can do better, and we will do better. And so that's why it's just hard, because there's no one to blame but us. And it's like, but we're doing a lot, or we think we're doing a lot, but you need that time to realize like, okay, but I haven't doing A, B, and C, so let's do A, B, and C. And that's where I am right now with streaming. Is like I'm like I said before, I'm done with it. I'm done with just fucking doing the same thing all the time. I've worked really hard on what I think means to stream on the day-to-day. I think I'm pretty good at it. I'm confident in it. So now I need to get people's eyes on our stream. We're like, that's
simple.
Very simple, but very hard, and that's what I have to. I'm really bad at doing that. I feel like I have good ideas, but I'm really bad at selling them. So I need to like actually like, with help of others, I think I can get more eyes on Blluist. And thanks to you guys too, because I know you guys are like telling your friends, telling somebody, or like telling other streamers. When we get raids, it's usually because one of the community members told the raider or the people that are raiding about us, and that means so much to us. Like, you guys have no idea. So thank you guys so much. You guys have so much power when it comes to growing the stream in a positive way. So, and you guys have been showing that, displaying that, and we would really, really we really appreciate that. So thank you guys so much. Yeah. That's all I can say. There's so much of all the downsides of, like, my internal. At the same level of that, I've felt so much appreciation for the people that support the channel, and I hope that doesn't get like forgotten, or like I hope I'm able to show that, because I
think you do.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah. And if not, I apologize for that, but it's not like I'm gonna change the way I stream, and I'm always gonna be gray, but yeah, I just gotta keep doing it better, but it is what it is. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys, and I don't hopefully I don't underappreciate anything that you guys do for us, and I take it to heart. So, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you for that. All right, Blue. So you want to talk about something deep for the next 40 minutes?
No, I'm good. This stream is about the thing is,
that
like,
was
I think
deep dive, man. That was deep dive emotional Grey-kun.
Once we release some of the collections I'm working on, then I can talk about it.
True.
But I'm still in that period where we haven't released anything, so I can't talk about anything.
So this is nonsense stuff. This
So
is
like,
separate from Blluist stuff.
Yeah, but I meant like just in my life.
Yeah,
there's a lot happening. I just can't talk about it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of hard. So once it releases, I can actually talk about it, and I might talk for 40 minutes. So we'll see.
Please, like, people need to hear about the.
I know. I'm just waiting for the release.
Right.
Yeah. Let's go to questions.
Absolutely, guys. Again, thank you so much for this month. Now let's get into the questions that you guys have. You beautiful questions from beautiful people. Maybe. Question mark? What's the first question?
I think that's from Joran. Sorry, my names are...
I got it. I'll get the names up here, yeah.
What was the most challenging problem/obstacle you encountered this month, and how did you deal with it? So I'm going to mention it very, very vague. Like I just said, I can't really talk about it. So I'll mention it very vaguely. Well, some of the obstacle is we have a deadline. And, when you have projects, sometimes you don't meet those deadlines, or you can't meet them because of, different factors. And I think my obstacle was having to decide to cancel stuff or postpone things, even though you worked really hard for it, for the good of the project, is probably the hard thing I had to kind of come to terms with. Is like, there was a few designs I designed that I was really proud of, but because of certain factors and certain things, I decided to postpone my designs for a later date because of, just things. This is as vague as I can put it, but I think it's just like, I mean, of course, like anyone, you're really excited to show it, right? But I figured it would be better if we postponed. So, I think that was the challenging thing that I had to deal with, is kind of swallowing that, not pride, but that excitement that I had for my own items. I mean, of course, the other items are mine own as well, but like certain items that I was really excited to like show, we have to postpone. So, or I chose to postpone. And I mean, it's all fine. I'll get to show it sometime. It's just not as, early as I thought it would be. So.
Makes sense.
I don't know if that made any sense.
No, something that you're excited about, you worked a lot on. You had to make that kind of decision to push back because it was it's probably like with games too, right?
It's just we can't meet the
like
deadline, so
when devs push back games,
yeah.
but it's for the better
Yeah. It's
kind of
so we
thing.
can improve the stuff, and we can focus our attention on things that are immediately needed, and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense. For me, I think the most challenging obstacle you encountered was I wanted there were moments, and this is for me, it's just streaming, but on my day to day, there were really big moments where I felt like I couldn't be myself on stream. And it was just like, because I'm streaming for hours, and it's not like I'm feeling good all the time. This is everybody, but I want to. For the first time, I just felt like I wasn't myself for a couple moments. Not all the time. Just like I had moments that were like, oh, I'm not being myself right now, and it was noticing that and trying to overcome that in the span of like a second or like couple seconds. Um, and it was that was really tough because I just had like just really weird thoughts in my head, and that was pretty tough. I don't have that anymore, I think. Maybe still a little time to time, but it does. Those moments were pretty tough, but that doesn't mean like. I think the reason why it was tough was because I wanted to keep. I like the way. I like the way people see me on stream. There's a certain character, right? That like, or like, not character, a relationship that we have when we stream, and I want to keep that. I like that, like I don't want people to like feel fucking bad or like something like that, and that's why I don't really feel I'm coming out of my comfort zone on this podcast every time because I told myself that I got to be honest, and that's why a lot of it is kind of this is the behind the scenes of it. But there's moments, especially now, where I don't want to. Maybe I'm like, maybe I shouldn't even say that because then if I say that, people are going to. I'm running the risk of people being like, oh, I can't say A and B to gray anymore. And I just hope that that's not what it is. It's not like that. Twitch chat cannot give me a mental breakdown or anything like that. Like that's not how and that's not because, and I'm not saying that because to mean that what you guys say mean nothing to me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the only thing that can shut me down and give me a mental breakdown is myself. Anything that you guys say, I know is with love, 100%. And sometimes, and you're not just being like, people aren't being like actually ill intended, and I like that banter. I think that's what I've been trying to do. Like that's what my goal is to keep that banter with people, so it would be hypocritical for me to think like I don't want that anymore. I think I don't. I want that. I want that. And then I want that. So if I'm feeling down because not because of what you guys said, but just because of the situation that it is, and I just felt like my the way that I responded to things, or like the way that I kind of like try to like riff off was not, could have been better if I was in a better mental state. So, I think it was really hard to combat that. Where it's like it's getting in the fucking way. Like get out of my fucking head so I can just have fun. I never took anything personally. I never do that. From what people say, and it's always just fun and games. But sometimes I felt, for me, it might not have been like that, but for some people, it might have come off that I was taking it seriously, and it actually hurt me or something like that. But that was just because I was personally going through a hard time about myself, not about what was being said, and I was being offended by that or anything like that.
No, there's days where we're a little bit more sensitive than usual. So,
but what I'm saying is, I think when I am that, if it comes off that way, I'm being sensitive not because of what's being said, but because what's already in my head.
Yeah. It's
And
like it's something you're already dealing with. So
I don't want to change the relationship of that I have with the people on stream when we stream. And I just want to make that really clear that that's people should be the way that they are. And I want that. I've worked so hard to create that. I've worked so hard to create that kind of space. So I don't want to get rid of that. You know, it's just personally have to be in a better place and have to move on my own to not be in that state, if that makes sense. So yeah, it was really hard to battle that and make sure I like send off the wrong energy. Was probably was the hardest thing that I'm still working on, but is much better than before. Yeah. Thank you for that question, Jerron. Regular asks, what is a song that best sums up your feelings lately? We had a song question before about lyrics, right? That Brent asked.
I don't know if I have a song. Oh God.
There's a song, and this is actually it kind of connects to what Brent was talking about before, but there's a song called Aruko, I think, by a rapper called Kadoro in Japan, and his song really is something that sums it up, where it's like you just got to keep walking no matter how strong the wind is blowing against you got to keep walking. But it's not like bubblegum bullshit where it's like everything's gonna be fine. It's not like that crap. It's like, yo, shit sucks, but sometimes shit sucks and hits the fan, but we got to keep going.
That's life.
And there's meaning in every step, kind of type of song. And I think there's a lot of songs that I really there's a Jim Croce song from the 70s that I've been kind of like going back many times about how it's you always pick the hardest way, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And I've listened to that a lot. Things that kind of I've never really related to lyrics or songs that just talk about things that are just ambiguous fun or ambiguous emotions. They're for me they have to be concrete. They have to be things that I feel like the people themselves have experienced. And so it's always songs like that hit me very hard. And right now, yeah, that Gadoro song hits me hard because I know that he himself just came out of fucking nowhere, and he was just like hated in his town, and he was like super poor, but then he had a chance. He was doing freestyle rap battles, and there was a time in Japan when that kind of became a thing, where like TV was picking it up, and then he joined that, destroyed everybody, and he did so well, and then now he has a major label deal, and he's just like he's actually making it. He has living that hip hop dream, and a lot of his songs are still like talking about. He's still on his feet about a lot of the lyrics and stuff. So just to see someone like that, so he himself, not just like the songs, but like just I always see like the background of who's writing the songs too, and that hits the spot for me. How about you, Blue?
I'm trying to think of one, but I might have to come back to this question.
It's not the what is it the Ghibli songs that you put on when you go to sleep? That shit is awesome. I love that stuff.
No, that's just when I go to bed.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very calming. I recommend it. It's just Ghibli instrumentals.
It's so good to go to sleep to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do that.
Yeah. It's very calming.
Yeah. Okay, so next question is by Kiat. So thank you, Regular, for that question. That was great.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Bring flowers in any quantity on a first date. Yes, you should.
Nah. Someone has to hold that.
I still
someone
want
has to
Gray to
hold that.
No, you show up to like when you go pick her up.
What is this fucking prom? When are you gonna pick them up at their house? We meet at the station. This is Tokyo, baby.
I'm still waiting for the day Greg gets me flowers.
Next question. Yes or no? Bring being yourself on a first date, like in the mood of, okay, but seriously, probably bringing flowers is a good thing. I don't think there's a need to. It's all about if your partner likes that or not.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And you've never gotten me flowers.
Yeah, so I'm a horrible partner, is what it is.
Yeah,
in terms,
he's terrible.
In
terms of flowers,
in the realm of
he's
flower
terrible.
giving,
Yeah.
maybe, but in the realm of other things, I'm pretty good, right? I'm okay. That's why you're with me, right?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Being yourself on a first date. Like in the movie, do you like anime? I play League of Legends. What do you play? I have a Final Fantasy figure collection at home. Do you also find Tifa hot? I think it's there's a couple things with first dates, I think. No, I'm not gonna do a Blink-182 reference. Are you crazy? I was totally about to. But if it's like a Tinder date, and like I don't know if that's like an obsolete way of like describing a date, where you don't know, or like you kind of not even there for like a long-term relationship.
If you're there to fuck,
Yeah,
then
no
you
one
don't
gives a-
mention it because you're just there to fuck.
Yeah.
Do you find each other hot? All right, cool. Skip the small talk, just go fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe talk about like TV or I don't know, like the most basic shit. Fuck, and then you leave. That's it.
But I'm
if
guessing
you're,
yours
like,
is more of like a relationship.
Yeah, like an actual relationship, then yes, you should, because
100%.
the last thing you want to do is be in a spot where it's like, you guys are going in a good direction, and then all of a sudden you have to say it like it's like some kind of confession that you have to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
So it's better if you just come out first thing being like, yeah, I like games. I like anime. I like this, this, and this. What about you? And the thing is, a lot of cases, if you guys already vibe together, they might be like, wait, I don't like it, but that sounds really cool.
Yep.
You never know.
100%.
So
Even if they're not into it,
yeah, it's because
you can get them into it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Grade didn't. Yeah, that didn't work for Blink-182. I thought they were dead until a year ago.
they're
but
still dead
yeah.
to you. So
Yeah, sure.
I think if it's something that's really important to you, the more important these things are to you, the faster you should tell them, because you're not gonna have a good time if they hate what you love.
Yeah.
And if it's something that's important to you, and you should never be ashamed of something that you like.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
So whether it be
life is too short to hide shit like that. It's just it's a waste of time.
Yeah, like when in high school days, people always had guilty pleasures, and that never made sense to me. Where people are like, my guilty pleasure is, like, let's say it would be like a Carly Rae Jepsen song or a Taylor Swift song, and I would be like, why is it guilty? Don't you just like it? And like, oh, it's embarrassing to tell people. And I was like, why? Like, what the fuck? Like, just you like it, back it. Like, what the fuck? Like, is my thing. And it's like, yes, there were moments where I would say like, hey, I like this artist, and they were like, what the fuck, Gray? Like, you like them? And I was like, yeah. Yeah, I like them. I like this record. I like this track. I like this about it. And then they're like, man, that's kind of weird that you like that. And I was like, okay. And you just never, if that's all nothing else, just my music taste, and I'm weird and they don't like it, you're not going to be friends with them anyways. If that's what they judge you by, it's better for you to not be with them anyways, if that's what they're judging you by.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not going to last in the long run if you don't have, if those parts don't really match. Like, if they're not interested in the fact that you like it, or if they themselves don't like it, then it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
To because there's so many couples that I know of who they have no hobbies that they share together, and that just sounds so lonely. Like, they don't do anything together because they don't like the same things.
Also, this is like something that Blue and I really share, is that we are not attracted. We might not be attracted in the certain things that we enjoy. For example, like the meme is Blink, but like music for me, and like kimono and like antiques with Blue. I don't have, and books and all this stuff that she's passionate about. I personally am not passionate about those things.
Yeah, Gray can't read. So.
Right? Yeah, I can't read.
Yeah.
So, and I can barely spell or talk.
Mhm.
So it's crazy that I'm here. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me.
Yeah.
But
you're welcome. See how much I changed him
Mhm.
since dating him? I'm like a fucking god.
you know what you know when couples are like you're like turning into each other because after spending so much time,
Yeah.
you're turning into me because you fucking interrupt me while I'm talking. Look at that.
Yeah, it's great. I learned from the best.
But jokes aside, I think, and this is important, we don't share the same likings of like what we like, but I like the fact that she's passionate about something. And she likes something. She likes that I'm passionate about something. That itself, even if you do not share that specific like, for of course, if what you like matches, that's good too. But to see it outside looking in and being like, wow, you're so passionate about that, that itself is a attractive trait. And that's really important. And that's not something you should hide. And if people judge you for that, you shouldn't be with them in the first place.
Yeah.
That should be a red flag for you.
Yeah.
Because no one should judge you. That should be a universally attractive thing.
I mean, Gray
Unless
did.
your passion is killing people
Yeah.
or something like that. Or crime. You know what I
True.
mean?
Well, yeah.
If it doesn't hurt anybody and it's just
Yeah.
a passion. Like if Blue is passionate about like maps or like super passionate about like architecture.
I
Or
fucking love architecture.
or like string. You know what I mean? Like something like ambiguous.
Yeah, I fucking love string.
The fact that they're attracted to stuff like that that's completely out of your zone, even that doesn't mean I'm gonna go deep dive into it, but the fact that they're into it is a very attractive trait to me, and I think it is for Blue and it is for many people. So I think you should say what you love, man.
I mean, I remember I told when we started dating, I told Gray that my favorite dogs were sighthounds with really long noses, and he judged me so hard. But look where we are now. So
I was like, what, small dogs? Ew. And
like the long, like you really didn't like the long nose.
Yeah, I grew up
You're
with
like,
a golden
"That's so
retriever,
weird."
so I was just like, that's a
Yeah.
weird taste. And
Yeah.
then now I'm like,
I don't think Gray can get anything else.
look at this. we got half a dog. Like, look at this. It's not even a real dog. But yeah, seriously, that's what I think.
Mhm.
All right, next question is by Vaughn. Thank you for that question, Kiat. Since Blue came up with the Monhan Cafe plan for her birthday, I don't count that as a date. So here's my question: when are you gonna take Blue on a date, Gray? Next question. But also, what's the update on your podcast idea plan?
Didn't you mention that on stream the other day?
I did.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
right now, I've kind of mentioned it already on stream. Actually, this kind of came up, but right now we actually took a couple of like kind of like trial episodes, and we took one that could be a real episode right now, but my editor just got really busy with work right now, and we've been talking about it. He's like, oh, sorry, Greg, I can't work on it right now, and things are just moving in a different direction right now, either anyways on stream with doing stream events and stuff like that. So I'm just like, don't worry about it too much. It might come out. It might turn into something different. But for now, I'm just kind of taking it easy on that. I'll update you guys on it as it goes on, because I do want to do it. I think it's a good idea. But yeah, it's gonna be a little bit, and I'm not rushing.
I mean,
my
you have
editor,
Tokyo Camp Bingo right now anyway, so
Yeah, pretty much. Kiet asks, I've recently played Indica through now,
Mhm.
and I wondered, did you two ever have a moment of the same magnitude in like Indica where you have been let down by an ideal or disappointed by a belief or concept? Or generally, how do you handle it when harsh reality crushes down on concepts you held onto? Great
So I
game.
have one, but it's gonna be pretty dark, I think. So I think maybe you should say first.
I don't have one right now. I'll think about it while
Okay.
you tell your story.
So there's gonna be serious hour, so it's not gonna be 40 minutes like Gray, but
Sorry. It's the same sentence over and over and over.
but so I think for me it was, so in high school I went through something kind of traumatic, and I think that was when I realized that just because something bad happens to you doesn't necessarily mean everyone will believe you or everyone will support you. And I think that's something that was really hard to come to terms with. As in, like, and also another big thing is that just because someone's older, like adults, because in my mind, before high school, like middle school, high school, I was always under the impression that, you know, people older, like adults, especially in the school system, are supposed to believe students and kind of, you know, protect students. But I think but like the harsh reality is that life is unfair and that's not how it always goes. So I think that was like, yeah, the harsh reality of like finding out that just because something bad happens to you and just because you're at like maybe you talk to a teacher, in a good utopian world, of course they would help you out and they would believe your story and everything, and you know everything will be all good and whatnot. But realistically, not everyone's, you know, not even adults make mistakes, and not every adult is a good person. So you find yourself in a situation where you're kind of alone and you don't have anyone to talk to, and you don't really, like, no one is willing to help you. So I think that was pretty rough back then. Especially if, you know, since I think I was still struggling with like cultural differences and language barriers and stuff like that too. So it was hard, especially to kind of realize like, oh, no one believes me, or like no one is willing to help me, I guess. So that sucked.
That is, yeah, that's a big realization.
So I think that was a very big disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because adults are supposed to protect young people, or that's what I thought, you know? But unfortunately, that's not the case a lot of times. So, yeah.
I think for me, it's got to be something in the creative field where, and this is gonna sound super like, it's not the caliber of Blue, kind of like actually like mistrusting people and stuff like that, because that kind of stuff will scar you in all human relationships, I think, for a good while. But I fortunately have never had something to that caliber, but I've had, I think mine would just be that hard work doesn't mean hard work and how much work you put into something doesn't always mean that you'll get that return back. And I think that's like, I think you hear that a lot, right? You hear that a lot, and nobody works hard thinking that they're working wrong. Everybody works hard because they're working towards something, I think, especially in the creative field. You're doing it, and you're doing it because you believe in it and you want to keep going, and you believe what you're doing is right, or else you wouldn't be putting work into it, or what you consider to be work. But the return of that and the reality of it, and I've had people tell me this too, is that that's not how this works. And when I had multiple people tell me that that's not how this works, it was a realization that I was like, wow, like that it is like that's what it is. Like it's not about how hard you work. It's everybody works hard, but it's not always, and the people that are up there work the hardest, for sure. But the people that are still, trying to get to some certain place, maybe even a place where it's like, I just want to be able to pay rent, which is still huge. Don't get me wrong. That's a huge thing. But I still want to like be able to pay rent this month, and in a creative way. The amount of work that you put into it and the return that you get is never equal. And it's a thing that everybody knows. People that are not even in the creative field know that. But it hits you like a truck when you go, you go into it knowing that. And then you go into it 5 years knowing that. And when you realize that it's really not even close to what you thought it would be. In the sense of like, I put in 100 in here and I got back 1 in my mind. It's all in your mind and whatnot, but the progression that you get is just never that. And that's one thing. And there's so many things that I could have done to make that progression better. I know that. But for people that are like at a place that I would want to be at, one of the places that I want to be at, to straight up tell me, no, that's not how this works. Like, no, that's not how this works. It's not about how much work you put into it. No, it's not. Was like, wow, this is like wild. That's a wild thing for people to be so confident about that. And they're not like jaded. They're not like being assholes about it. They're just like, oh no, that's just not how this works. Like, that's just like, you're just going to kill yourself mentally if that's what you think. And so that's a realization. And another realization was even being told by multiple people. I'm like, no, I'm still going to, I think
That just means you're stubborn.
I'm just going to do what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stubborn, and I also really believe in what I do. So it's an interesting input and a really interesting realization for me. And I was like, wow, it really is like that. But I can't do that. Like, I can't just like switch up, you know. So, but yeah, very big realization when not everybody, but like the people that a lot of people were like, this is just not how that works. You got the formula wrong. You work hard, but that's not how you work hard. And I took lessons from it too. Like, I was like, okay, well, there's got to be my way of doing this, and it gave me ideas. But like, and it's really obvious. It's like a pretty obvious thing that I think a lot of people know, but they've never been in that situation. You think you know, and you keep doing it, and you realize, wow, I wasn't doing it at all. Like, it was like a moment of realization for me in the creative field, is what I would think. What I would like was a pretty big belief system that I had that got shattered. But it didn't get shattered. But like, I saw the reality, and I was like, okay, well, still got to keep doing my own thing in my own way. But it was a realization for sure. Good question, man. All right, let's see. Sorry, I can't get Discord up over here. I'm gonna get it up here. So we have the streamer mode up, so we can't see the full names. Let me just pop this up here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, okay. Kari asks, Gray and Blue, if y'all get to design a Souls-like, what standout feature would you add it to be different from the other Souls-like games? A feature that stand out.
Full-on co-op mode.
Full-on co-op mode.
That's what I would make. I want to make a full-on co-op, like a multiplayer mode. That'd be nice.
Souls-like raids would be fun. Where it's like an MMO raid where there's like 20 people going in at like a boss, and it's like, it's an MMO type raid, but the fight is like Souls. I think there's like games like that, but like, I want to try that and they have like actual mechanics too, on top of mechanics on top of just the normal like hit boxes and stuff like that. That would be cool. And like, I think that would be chaotic and would be so fun. Is what I would think. Kinda. Or like, no, yeah, that's probably the thing that would come, like raids.
Yeah, and I would just want multiplayer, like a co-op storyline.
I think that's Joran again, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Joran? Okay, good. Okay, just making sure.
Where do you want to be in 50 years, and how do you plan to get there?
50 years, so 80. 80 years old. Where I want to be at 80? I want to be on a beach chilling, just drinking beer, not giving a fuck
On a
with
beach, you don't like the water.
listen, and then get my fucking VR glasses
Really?
that are just like contacts at that point, and just that my life,
Not on
baby.
the. That's a.
What?
Okay.
Well, where would you?
What's the point of being on a beach if you're gonna have VR goggles on? That's what I mean.
True.
Yeah.
True. I don't know. I just that I just randomly said that, but I don't know where I'm gonna be at 80.
Honestly, I hope I'm healthy.
Probably
That's
not
kinda
alive.
That's kind of what I'm worried about. Is how my hips are and everything. I hope I'm still walking.
I give myself a solid 25 more years. Solid.
Wait, please, longer than that. That's so short.
Solid. I don't think I there's no way I'm living until 80, dude.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know. I don't feel like
Maybe
I am.
not 90.
Yeah, I think
80, I think you'd still be here. I mean, knowing me, I'm probably like, with all these problems, I'm probably going to live till like 110. So let's be real.
I don't know.
Oh, God.
And how
No.
do I plan on getting there? Just try to live life.
I mean, honestly, I want to get to 80 with no regrets in life
Mm-hmm.
or as minimal as possible. So I don't need to be rich. I don't need, a big house or a big plot of land or some shit. I don't need a car. I don't need any kind of those kind of things. I just want to be able to sit down and be like, you know what? I did everything I wanted to do.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was
Pretty good.
that was a fun ride.
Yeah. So,
It's pretty hard for me to imagine at this point.
yeah.
But yeah. Thank you for that question. Machi asks, if given a chance to travel, which country would you guys go to and why that country? I want to go to Indonesia. I have a lot of friends there, and it's just I've always said this, but like Indonesia, also like I think the Philippines also too. But I just know personally that Indonesia has a very strong subculture community when it comes to like punk and stuff. So I want to see what that's like.
I want to go to Korea. Because it's so close, but I've never gone. I think it'd be really cool to go. And also I want to go to Iceland because very specifically because there's a beach there that has black sand, and I thought aesthetically it looks
edgy,
so
dude.
cool, and I just want to see it. And apparently
So
Iceland is like
edge.
super like, I don't know, like the people, like I was reading up on it, and like their name, like how they like figure out like family names and stuff is really different. And so I thought, I don't know, it just seems like they have a lot of things that you don't really conventionally see other places. So I thought culturally it'd be fun to see. And then Sweden. I've always wanted to go to Sweden because I've had a lot of Swedish friends and they've talked about how great Sweden is. So it would be nice to go see it someday.
Hell yeah.
But yeah.
And thank you so much for that question, Matchy. Jeremy asks, what would you have done differently in the past couple of years if you knew the dynamic was going to change in 2024? If I knew that this moment was going to come and where we switch roles, I would have done more solo streams. I would have done more to less push blue and made it more equal. Had that realization that like, but I don't think it would have really changed that much because blue on her own versus us two, me on my own versus us two. Nothing beats us two being together. That will always be, that's our stream, right? So I don't think there would have been too much that could have actually changed because it wasn't like blue solo streams are always popping off or like that. The best numbers are when we're together, and that makes sense because we can our banter. That's Blluist is us two.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if more than that of like what we would. I think it would have just been if I could have been in this mindset right now of like how to this experience of like I want collabs and to deal with other people, like to do events with other people and stream with other people in this way, with the way that I'm doing it with Josh. If I had that knowledge now and that mindset now, I would start doing that back then.
Yeah.
That's about it. Because I think this is the way to do it.
Yeah, I think like doing more things separately would have been good. Not always together.
Yeah. I think but that's something we can do now. So it's
Hmm.
like, I don't regret it.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing is I would stop playing Souls games. I would stop playing all those Souls games. Souls like games. Um, and I would do a different direction for our duo streams. Um, yeah. So when it comes to Souls games, I should reiterate that Souls games are fine from soft games.
From Soft Games, yeah.
I would like Elden Ring and stuff like that. That's fine.
Souls like
Souls like
games
we would stay away from that.
are the issue.
Hard games, difficult games, I would stay away from that. Because that's not why people watch Blluist. People don't watch people. Some people might, but I've realized that, and people like the defeat of us beating it, but us actually streaming it, it's and the reason why FromSoft is okay is because he has a huge fan base. And so people will actually come and watch FromSoft games if it's FromSoft. Regardless if we're streaming it well or not. But a good example is if you watched us play Supermarket Simulator. That is essentially Blluist at its best. That or like Hand Simulator. Or those are that's the core Blluist experience. It's not split control. Split control is a gimmick to bring people into content like that. Because we can't do the supermarket simulator vibe, banter, while going against Millennia.
Yeah.
And this is something we talked about, but we keep going back to it just because we like those games and we want to play it. And every single time I'm like, oh, we shouldn't have done that. Or like, it was fun, but we need to like
move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do with the duo streams, whether the dynamic has changed or not. Something that I would change from years ago is I would just hard stop on Souls likes and hard games. And the reason why you do split control is because it makes the game harder. But the only level of difficulty that we actually need is like a horror game where it's like a little wonky to like move around, and it like increases the fear of us because we can't control it. That's way better than literally going against a boss over and over and over and over and over and over again. Unless it's a title as strong as FromSoft, because it stops becoming fun for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it stops becoming fun for everybody, and we know that. And there's a moment where like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
But when it's a FromSoft game, it doesn't happen because, I mean, that's the FromSoft magic, man. Like the games are just, the bosses are good. They want to make you keep going, and we've never experienced a game that even comes close to that feeling. In any game we played, and I feel like we could just reserve it for them. For FromSoft.
Yeah.
When a new FromSoft game comes out, we do that.
Yeah. We can play something else in the meantime.
Yeah, and we excel most like with like Thief Simulator. Like simulator games are perfect.
Management games are good.
The game that we played yesterday was fantastic, where it was just like the trolley game where there's a lot of conversation involved. That's what I would do differently, because I think that's why people watch Blluist, and it shows that it's very telling on many levels that's what people want, and I think that's what we want too. But we just fall into that trap.
Yeah.
Because we personally are interested in those games, but we realize, we don't want. There's no need to do this in split.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think? Do you think?
No, I agree. We talked about this for a reason. We agree.
Any input on that?
No, I mean, just aside from the fact that I think I don't like us when we're doing Souls-like games. We get irritated really, really quickly at the game, at each other, at ourselves. And it just doesn't, it's not, like, I don't want to stream anymore.
There's
when
moments,
I do stuff like that, because like there's moments where it's like this is pointless. We should just stop.
There's moments where like I'll like the one thing that I don't like about it is that I don't like myself about it is that it becomes really silent, right? Because we're fighting it, and we're like, especially in a place where like we don't know how to beat the boss, right? I have a mouse. All I can do is attack, right?
Yeah.
I have nothing to talk about. Where we're like, I can't commentate on anything that's going on right now, except for like ways to like that I see might beat the boss, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not doing the movement. So it's just this intense backseating of like, you should do this, you should do that, but I'm not actually doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're not talking at all because you're concentrated on it. I don't want it to be a silent stream. I got to say something.
But it just comes off as backseating.
And
yeah,
to me, like, I'm this is so backseaty, this is so lame, like, but I have to do it because
you have to say something.
and then so like the best that I can do, and this doesn't work all the time, is like I would like try to make catchy ways to dodge a move or something like that, or like make names for moves. But then I know that if I keep doing that, it's gonna take longer because you're not gonna be able to focus. But those are like the best moments. I don't know.
What was it? That shrimp one worked.
I know, and it's like if that could happen every time, if I had the skill and if I had like the talent to do that every time, that would be great. But it's not that I have to be at like overdrive energy to do that, and it's like it has to be like the perfect timing to do that. And I'm always looking for it, but it's if every battle was like that. Because to get there, it was like 2 hours of like just us struggling, and then I physically felt second wind when I started to see the character more, and then, or the boss fight more, and then I was able to like do that, and it really helped, right? So,
yeah, all started from bananas,
from Elden Ring, yeah. And I think so that was amazing, but for that amazing thing to happen, it's like 20 other bosses that are just like, huh?
Really
like
quiet? Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't like that. I don't like we're not that's not what
we're not gamers.
We're not good.
People aren't here to watch our gameplay. So
and it's like
more fun when we're actually talking.
Yeah. Like they're here I hope they watch the game, but
yeah,
like,
but I meant like most
like
people
pro
are here
gameplay.
for yeah. Like us talking is more entertaining, I think. So if we don't talk at all, then it's like it doesn't have to be us.
I don't want people to not watch the game at all, and like, but I want them to watch the game for what we are doing, not for like pro gameplay shit, because that's not what. And I think it doesn't. We're not like, oh my god, these guys are amazing because they did it in split control. But when you do it in split control, it kind of comes off that way, and we get that. And I was like, oh, that's the wrong way for us, because that's not what I want to be known for. Like that's that, as in like, I don't want to be known for that because people don't stick unless we do that all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So, but people really enjoy the banter, the just chatting section at the beginning, and so and I enjoy that. So it's like, that's what I would do. I would just be like, we're not doing hard Souls-like games, and we're gonna focus on things that we can have a conversation doing it, and we can like feed off of each other. Tokakana. And it makes way better clips that way too. Way better. Like our clip of beating Radon is like definitely up there, but like our supermarket simulator shit
of what was it, Dodd?
And like
of Dodds and dogs.
The things Roy makes, is so much better.
Yeah.
In my point, those are like way better and shows Blluist more, you know. But I do understand it was like when Elden Ring was released, it was like a timing thing too. So, that's what I would do differently. I should be smarter. I should have been smarter. We should have been smarter about that. It's like we know it, but then it's not like we can always find games, so we always fall in that trap.
Yeah.
So that's what I would do different. Casey asks, what's a game that you want to be made?
I have one.
Yeah.
I really want a game, like not farming sim, but like one of those like, low key games where there's no fighting. I just want to be a shop owner, okay, or a cafe owner that only sells tea. And the whole point of the game is you go through, like, you go scavenge in this really cool, like, lush forest with tons of different ingredients. And you have to go find those ingredients. And then you come back and you can make different types of tea concoctions. And then you serve it to your customers. Would just be so fun. And then it would have that coffee talk aspect where you kind of get to know your customers. And then you can make blends for them, like specifically and what they need and stuff. Would be fun. Because it's like, oh, I'm having trouble sleeping. Then you put some chamomile in there along with like maybe like a good, add like some new combination where maybe blueberries would fit really well or some shit. But there's like no, like, I don't have to go kill slimes or go into a mine and go kill monsters. I don't want any of that. I don't want to go into a forest where I'm swinging around a sword. No, I just want to I just want a little, I just want a bamboo backpack where I'm just foraging tea leaves. Okay. That's it. And then I come home, prepare those tea leaves. So I want the preparing part too. Like where you actually prepare the tea leaves and then you serve it. That would be amazing. I don't know why no one has made that game yet.
It's probably somewhere on Steam right now. Yeah. For me, it would be a werewolf game that's exactly the way that we play it. Exactly the way, 1-to-1 copy of how we play it, but with avatars. That's it. That's all I want. And one that you can go into public lobbies would be the ideal game. The exact way we play Blluist Streamer Werewolf with where the game will like mute you, unmute you, mute you, and shit like that. And that's playable and looks pretty. Mm-hmm. And aesthetically looks pretty. Zero action, just talking type stuff. That the way that we play it. That would be my ideal game, I think. So yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out on another episode of Catching Up with Blluist, the SOSO Pod. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You guys are amazing, and we'll see you guys next month, all right?
Yeah, I'm about to go do laundry, so.
And I'm about to go poop. Okay. Take care, you guys.
Bye, guys.